What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Wellthy Stocks back with another video today, taking a look at NIO Stock. We'll take a look at how NIO Stock traded today, some key support and resistance levels that we have coming up, and based on that, what we think it's going to do in the future. We'll also take a look at a little bit of news that came up, a little bit of positive news, a little bit of negative news. We'll kind of see how that could drive the stock. So if you enjoy videos like this, hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on NIO are moving forward. And based on that, we'll chat down in the comment section. But let me hit record and we will get right into it. So a mixed day for NIO overall. Let's take a look at it from the start, right? So what we saw was, we were kind of here in the 53s in the pre-market, a little bit of a gap down, but we were pushing up, similar to Tesla, right? With a Democratic, party, or with a Democratic Senate. It drove a lot of energy into EV stocks. Now, that being said, NIO is a Chinese EV company, but there's sometimes a correlation between Tesla and some of the other big EV names. So that could be the reason for this. But also we have NIO Day coming up, so that could have been another reason. But anyway, all that to say, great start to the day for NIO. We were at $55, pushing towards that all-time high. Then, this is another level that we were looking at. As you could see, it bounced here a couple of times, right? Which kind of really validates that level for us a little bit. And then it started pushing back down below VWAP, and then couldn't break VWAP, couldn't break VWAP, couldn't break VWAP. Looked kind of weak there. And then here we were hitting VWAP and it looked pretty stable, right? Like it looked like it was consolidating. Maybe it was done for the day. Not doing too much overall. And then we got to here. And wow, what a drop. We dropped all the way from 53 to 49. Our first level didn't hold up. It held up for a second there, right? It rebounded. But our second level held up really nicely, right? Our second level was at 49.05 and it stopped at 49.08. Pushed up, couldn't quite break into it, and then consolidated, and we are up $1 into the close, coming up against this 51.97 level. So let's take a look at why this drop happened. So first and foremost, part of this drop happened in the overall market with what we saw happening in Washington with Capitol Hill getting stormed. They broke into the Capitol and there were riots or protests or whatever you want to call them, which drove fear into the market, led to a sell-off in many major indexes. So a little bit of the sell-off happened across, right? So if we take a look at Apple, sold off into the second half of the day. Amazon sold off second half of the day. NASDAQ sold off second half of the day, right? But the other piece of news that really pushed Chinese companies and Chinese stocks down is another concern of US ban. So just yesterday or the day before, we covered a news article saying that the New York Stock Exchange was not going to ban even those 3 Chinese telecom companies that they were going to ban. But that's a decision that they turned around on, and now they're saying that even more companies are potentially going to be, put on that list. So NIO was down today. Xpeng was down today. Baba was down, another big down today for Baba, almost 5%. Tencent was down. JD and Baidu were also down. Basically, they're saying the State Department and Department of Defense are reported to have held conversations on expanding a blacklist of companies that are prohibited to U.S. investments due to allegation to links of China's military and security services. Now, if you remember, just a couple months ago, we had a similar concern. I made a video on it. That one had more to do with kind of fraudulent reports, what came out with Kongdi, what happened with Luckin Coffee, stuff like that, where they weren't necessarily being audited by the same companies that the US companies were being audited by. So that legislation essentially was saying, hey, if you want to be a part of the US exchange, you have to engage one of these big auditors to tell us that your financial statements are actually as accurate as they're as accurate as you say they are. This right here is allegations that they could be links to China's military and security services. So it's a lot more serious, and it seems like it'll be a lot harder to deal with. That being said, though, this week is still NIO Day. We're talking about NIO Day coming up in just 3 days on Saturday. So I wanted to share more information with that. They are planning a They're planning entry-level models with cheaper batteries from CATL. They've entered into an agreement with battery supplier CATL for getting these lithium iron phosphate batteries. They're cheaper. They're not using more expensive nickel and cobalt, and they're able to lower the price of that. So they're planning on doing that as soon as this year with the objective of meeting demands of price-sensitive customers, which again, when you combine with everything that NIO is doing with their increased market share, right? If you think about Tesla, they only were able to do 500,000 cars, or almost 500,000 cars that they had in their goal for this past year because of their Model 3. I think some 400,000+ of the 500,000 were Model 3s. Very small percentage were Model S's and Model X. That is what a car company typically would have to do to really appeal to the masses. And that's what NIO is doing here. So that news that came out today, coupled with the fact that we have NIO Day coming up, in that, you know, we're going to get probably autonomous technology, maybe a larger 150 kilowatt hour battery, maybe a NIO sedan, all point to positive news for the stock, which is why I continue to hold my NIO shares for the time being. We're up $1 after hours, so we were down about 5%, up 2%, so really only a negative 3% day. Let's go to the daily chart and we'll kind of see what we see with price action here. So it was a big movement day for NIO. We had a low right off of this level right here in the 49s, and then we had a high breaking into our 54s level. So where do we go from here, right? Let's take a look and we will try to get an idea of where we go. So we are above the AEMA. So if we see a little bit more of a pullback, I'm hoping for a bounce off of the AEMA, which is at 49.69. First and foremost, I would want to see the 50 level hold. If that doesn't hold, then 49.69, basically 49.70 is that first real level I'm watching, other than the 50 mental resistance. Then I'm watching this 49.05 level now. This level held up really nicely today, so I'm hoping for that to hold. And if not, then I think we drop near this 21 EMA, which is also aligned with this level we have in the 47.30s. So 47.58 and 47 kind of, so mid 47s would be my next level, right? So if we see another pullback, whether that's due to, you know, market uncertainty with what's going on in Capitol Hill, whether that's, you know, Chinese stock uncertainty or any other uncertainty, we could pull back to the AEMA, which is at 49.69, then 49.05, and then the 21 EMA near the mid 47s. If we push up, however, first level I'm watching it break is 51.97, which, as you see from these candles, we were above it for the past 2 days and above it today until we saw that sell-off happening. And then if we can make it past that, then 54.66. If we can make it past 54.66, then this 55.28 high we set today, which would take us pretty darn close to the all-time highs in the 57s. So that's what I'm looking for. Again, a lot of catalysts for NIO. The only uncertainty is what happens with the delisting stuff. Not necessarily that NIO would be one of those companies, assuming that they would, you know, cooperate and get that auditor that's needed, and they can, I mean, I think that's more with like Alibaba and those type of companies, but hopefully they're not, you know, there aren't allegations that NIO is with the Chinese government or they're spying for them or something like that. So I think for now NIO stock is safe until we get other news, but obviously if we get negative news about, you know, even Alibaba and them, it drives a lot of these Chinese companies up or down. So hopefully we don't get a lot of that, but let me know what you guys think and how you're trading NIO. I'm really excited to see what NIO Day brings. Hopefully we push up, and hopefully it's not a sell the event type of action that takes place after the fact. But we'll kind of see, and I'll keep making update videos. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Comment down below what your thoughts on NIO are. I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.